Hey guys, I'm back. I'm back for another video, and it's gonna be a different type of video. So you guys have probably seen recently that in my past few vlogs, I have been reading. And I've taken like a, 2 or 3 week hiatus. And I'm back. And this time, I'm gonna be telling you guys everything that I read this month. So I said in one of my other vlogs that I never read, so I never really read as like a child or anything. Started getting into reading now, and I read a lot of books. Well, I read 8 books, which to me is a lot. Okay, I'm hoping to like step it up and read more and more each month because I really love reading, and it's been like the one thing bringing me happiness this whole month. So I'm gonna show you guys the 8 books that I read this month. So let's start off with the first book I read. Okay, so the first book I read this month was Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. I really love Nicola Yoon. She's one of my favorite authors. I read this book. This is the first book. It was really small, really short. Honestly, I don't really remember this book that much. I guess like friends to lovers type vibes, but they haven't like known each other that long. Like they just like met. I don't know. We definitely had the third act like breakup in this book as well. There's like a small little bit of, I guess, fantasy, but like not really. There's just like a little, like literally like a singular drop of like magic. The book, a 4 stars out of 10. 4 stars out of 10. 4 stars out of 5. I quite liked it. Like, it was good. I think I would still stick with that reading. It was sad at the end though. Like, ugh, it was really sad. My next book that I read was The Sun Is Also a Star. So I read this book. This book has a special place in my heart. I love this book. The movie adaptation could live without it. But the book, I just love this book so much. Like, this is a 5-star for me. 5 stars! Like, I love this book so much. I love the characters. I love that in this book you like learn about like certain topics. This is also by Nicola Yoon as well, and it's just like she does like research on different topics. Like this chapter is about like hair, and she like wrote a whole like chapter talking about history of like hair in the Black community. Like, it's so cool. And I also love that it's not a happy ending. I love that they end up not being together. Next up is Blackout. This is a book with 6 different authors. I liked this story. I'm indifferent. I think I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. Each author, so there's 6 authors, and each author wrote a different story within the book. So this book is a compilation of 6 different stories that all happen in the same city. It's like this New York blackout that's happening, and it's like over the span of like a few hours. And the thing about it is that some of the stories got multiple chapters, and some stories literally got like one long chapter. Like some of the chapters are like 50 pages long, and it just was like some of the chapters I was like, I wanted more. I was hoping there would be like another chapter, but then there wasn't. And I was like we kind of saw all the characters come together in the end to go to this like block party, but like it just didn't feel satisfying enough. Like there's only like 1 or 2 stories that I felt like was satisfying. I don't know. I wanted to like it, but there is another book, I think with maybe the same authors, that's called Whiteout, and it's about like a citywide like snowstorm. So I want to read that when it's around like Christmas time. So look out for that. Next up, I read Everything, also by Nicola Yoon. Can you tell that I like her? I just really wanted to read all the books from her that I'd never read before. I rated this a 3 stars out of 5. I liked this book. It was a little boring. If you don't know, it's about this girl that basically has this like disease, or thinks that she has this disease where she can't leave the house. It's like that like bubble disease where you're basically allergic to everything. It can be a little boring just because she is just always at home doing the same things every day. But there is a twist in this book that I was taken aback. I'm not even gonna lie, I was taken aback by this twist. I was like, But like overall, it was like okay. I love the cover though. I think the cover is beautiful, but it was alright. Next up we have People Meet on Vacation. Now this book, don't fight me. Like, don't fight me, guys. Don't fight me. I promise, don't fight me. I give this book a 3 stars out of 5. I just didn't eat this up. Maybe I need to reread it in like a few months and like try again. This book is by Emily Henry. I'm currently reading Happy Place by the same author, and I'm really liking that book. I started it yesterday. I'm like 1/3 of the way in. But People Being on Vacation, I just think it was because I didn't like that the characters weren't communicating. It's basically about these two best friends that have been best friends for like 12 years, and every summer they go on a vacation together, and throughout each summer they're like basically like it's like very long, like slow burn, like yearning for each other for so long, and then by the end they get together, and then they're kind of like, we should have just told each other that we liked each other. They both liked each other, but they didn't tell each other that they liked each other, and I hate that. Like, I just like, and I feel like they never like talked. It's like oh my gosh. And then there's like this big thing that like is like looming over them this summer about what happened like 2 summers ago that like made them not be friends anymore. And it's like, if they literally would have just had a singular conversation, it would have all been fine. Like, it's just, I was so frustrated reading this book sometimes. I would recommend it, but like it wasn't my piece of cake. It wasn't my piece of cake. Next I read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I rated this also a 3 stars out of 10. Why do I keep saying 10? 3 stars out of 5. This book had like a little like dystopian vibe to it about these two guys that meet each other, and they live in like modern day, but like there's like this company called Deathcast, and it's basically this company that tells you 24 hours before you die that you're gonna die. So it's like this, it's like they know when you're gonna die somehow, and you get like a call, and it's like this whole big thing, everybody knows about it, and it feels like a little dystopian. It's kind of interesting. And basically these two boys, they're like 17, 18, they get this call that in the next 24 hours that they're gonna die, and there's like this website where people that are gonna die can go on this website and find a person to spend their last day with, and they decide to spend it together. It was interesting because it really made me think about my own like mortality, and like my own like, I could literally die any day. Like, it was definitely sad. Like, it was definitely sad at the end, because of course they both die at the end, even though I was kind of hoping they didn't. Like, I was like, maybe the author's lying to me, but no, they do both die at the end. It didn't give me exactly what I wanted, and there's like the smallest bit of like romance. They did end up falling in love in the book, but it was at the very end, and I didn't feel like there was enough like yearning between the two characters to really warrant that much romance. Like, at the end they were like confessing how much they loved each other, and I was like, do y'all love each other? Like, it just felt like such a good friendship throughout the book. So like, I wasn't mad that they loved each other, but it was just kind of like, I would have liked more like, he touched my arm, I touched his leg. Like, I would have liked more of like the, oh my god, you know, like, but I didn't get that. So 3 stars out of 5. But like, a really sad book. If you want to cry, read this book. Really interesting though. Now this book, guys, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Yes! 5 stars out of 10. 5 stars out of 5. What is, bro, I need help. 5 stars out of 5. I love this book so much, guys. Like, everyone read this book, please, I beg. It was just so good. It's about these two characters who they knew each other for like a week 15 years ago when they were like 17. They met each other, and they were both like strung out on drugs and everything, and they spend this like week together and basically fall in love with each other, and then they're split up. Now they're both like writers, and they both not secretly, I don't know, been like writing about each other in their like content of their like books and stuff. They've been writing, the characters have been about each other, and they finally meet, and it's like this, it's so like good, it's like so passionate, it's so I just loved it. I loved how the characters communicated. I loved the main character's daughter, Audrey. Like, she was my girl. I loved her. She was so like smart. She was supposed to be like 12, and she was just like, she was just spitting facts, and she was so smart, and I just like, I loved her. And I loved this book. I loved how it ended. I just loved it. There's nothing else I can say. Please read this book. I highly recommend 7 Days in June. And then my last book that I read, I finished this yesterday, is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I also rated this a 5 stars out of 5. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. You've probably read this book already, but I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to rave about it because it's really good. It's basically about Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands. And just like the different things that happened throughout her career that kind of coincide with each husband she was with at the time. It's honestly really good. Like, it's so good. I was feeling so like, I was like feeling like I was really back in like the 50s and the 60s. Like, I even got to the point I made her in The Sims. I was so into the book that I was over here in my creative sim. I was over here in Cass creating Evelyn Hugo. I just loved her. I loved her. I just really did. I loved the story. It was sad at the end, and it was definitely like the ending had me shook. The twist, I was like, I literally was like, what? Like, I was shocked and appalled, but I loved it. Those are like the 8 books that I read this month. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more book content and more vlogs, because I'll be doing more of that. Bye guys.